Hey everyone, the Tyrant here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what would happen if Hinata Shoujo from the anime Haikyuu became taller. In this scenario, everything would be the same except for that halfway through Season 1, right before the team's tournament, in which they lost to Abajosai, Hinata would have a growth spurt and suddenly grow 6 inches. This would make Hinata slightly taller than Kageyama. Although he wouldn't be like Tsukushima height, it would still make a huge difference for the rest of the show. First disclaimer out of the way, I have not read the manga, so there will be no manga spoilers. With that out of the way, let's get started. It's the morning of the day before the big tournament. All of the team is getting ready to spend their final day of practice training hard. As usual, Hinata gets up early and starts to head to the gym. However, the second he gets up out of bed, he notices something's off. He's taller, not just by a few centimeters. He's at least several inches taller. He rushes to the gym in an ecstatic frenzy. He's so excited that he's grown. He wanted to see Kageyama's reaction as well as get himself measured. He sees that the rest of the team is already there through the window. He walks in the gym and instantly everyone goes quiet. All eyes are on him. Tanaka drops the volleyball he was about to spike. "Measure me," Hinata says. How is pretty much everyone's reaction. "Hey Kageyama, wanna see who's taller?" Hinata yells. "Take the stilts off, you idiot," Kageyama says back, even though Hinata's legs are clearly visible. "Well, Hinata, you sure did have a growth spurt last night, didn't you? You're probably taller than me now. I didn't think that you could grow so much in one night. Come on, let's go ahead and measure you." Hinata followed Daichi, who said that. Hinata was 5'10", slightly taller than Kageyama. In practice, although Hinata was now tall, he would be clumsy due to the fact that he isn't used to the extra inches. Everything would be completely new to him. He would be able to jump higher, but he wouldn't be as swift, agile, and balanced as he normally was. Despite all of this, Hinata would still enjoy being tall and be confident going to the tournament. It would hit them like a train. None of the teams would be surprised at Hinata's spikes. They were cool, but he wasn't the short underdog anymore. He had an above-average height. The only team that would really be surprised is Abajosai, and that is because they had seen him before when he was shorter. And they were shocked at his new growth. I think that in this timeline, Kurosano would lose to Date Tech. They wouldn't even reach Abajosai, let alone Shiro Torizawa. Hinata wouldn't be as adept to his quicks, which was the driving force against Date Tech in the original timeline. Kurosano would be sent home. This loss would tear apart the team. The win against Date Tech was very significant in the character development of both Asahi and Nishinoya. Asahi, not being able to crack the iron wall, would decide to leave the team. This would cause Nishinoya to leave as well. This could now go two ways. Sugawara, Daichi, and Tanaka could talk the two into staying for the next tournament, and Asahi and Nishinoya would return. This would be the most likely in terms of the plot moving forward. However, more realistically, in path number 2, Daichi and Sugawara would leave the team with Nishinoya and Asahi, deciding that it was their final tournament. The rest of the team would be crushed and more would possibly break apart from the team. Of course, Hinata and Kageyama, as well as the other two first years, would probably stay, but the rest would be questioning if they want to continue forward. I'm going to continue with Scenario 1 because I believe it to be more interesting. However, if you wish to see Scenario 2 as well, make sure to comment down below and then I will create it. Let's continue. The team would go to their week of Tsukurodani Academy training camp. Nekoma would be extremely surprised about seeing Hinata, but the rest of the team would just think it's normal. During the week of training, while before Hinata was focused on being able to open his eyes, now he would be focusing on correctly utilizing his newfound height. He would probably look to some players on the other teams for help, perhaps Bokuto from Tsukurodani or Kuro from Nekoma, as he already seemed to take towards Hinata, and now they can show him a thing or two as well. Hinata would have been completely used to his new height and may be able to pull off his quick attack with Kageyama by the end of the camp. However, he won't be able to do it with his eyes open just yet. However, after they leave and start training in Kurosano again, Hinata will decide that he wants to start learning the eyes open technique, so he will begin practicing it while simultaneously working with tempo after training with Coach Ukai. It will be close, but right before the spring tournament, the team will have learned tempo. Hinata will have adjusted to his height, and Hinata will be able to do his quick attack with his eyes open. The team is completely ready for the tournament. The team would go into the tournament very confident. While they wouldn't have the element of surprise this time with Hinata, they would have Hinata as just a tall player. He would be able to jump higher and he would have even more power jumping due to him being heavier. The team wouldn't run into any real trouble until they faced up against Abajosai. Abajosai would see noticeable improvement in Kurosano after the training camp. However, they would both stay strong. After seeing Kurosano's coordination, as well as Hinata's raw power, I think they would bring in their secret weapon, Kentaro Kyotani, or as his nickname, Mad Dog. he would now stand out even more in the eyes of Hinata than he did originally. He and Hinata would be both the same and polar opposites. In physical appearance, they would be almost the exact same height, exact same weight, and would be speedy power blasters. They would be drawn into each other. However, the difference that would decide the outcome is their personality and look on the game. Mad Dog would be brash and self-centered, while Hinata would be more team-centered. This would allow Karasuno to win the game, although just barely, against Abujosai. Against Shiratorizawa, however, I think they would have a much easier time than they did in the original storyline, and perhaps even easier than against Abujosai. The relationship between Ushijima and Hinata would have been very different. Ushijima wouldn't have the same strong desire to crush Hinata due to his height and style. Sure, Ushijima would still try to win, but it wouldn't be the same level of resentment. As for Satoru Tendo, aka the guest blocker, Karasuno would do just the same thing now, if not better, than he did in the original timeline, due to the fact that Hinata is arguably a better decoy than before, because his height makes him more dangerous. I don't think there would be too many issues there. Karasuno would win the tournament and head home, tired but happy. Nothing really would change until the individual training camps that there are in Season 4. Due to Hinata's new height and style, I believe both him and Kageyama would get invited to the Youth Japan camp. They would be very good and learn, but they wouldn't really stand out, at least not as players, due to the high caliber of players already there. They might stand out as people, though, with Hinata's loud, boisterous personality. They would learn, practice, and then head back home. I don't think that the training camp would have necessarily helped Hinata as much as being ball boy did, though. Being ball boy helped him get a perspective that he could not have gotten at an elite training group. Although maybe he might have picked up some techniques that the other players there used, so it might have been very beneficial after all. It's sort of hard to say. Although overall Hinata would have improved, one thing that would have slowly deteriorated is his relationship with Kageyama. They would no longer have been as competitive with each other and fight like they used to. They would respect each other as players and have excellent combinations on the court, but they wouldn't really have all the relationships that we love them for. So maybe this timeline is not necessarily one that we want. I'm gonna end it here as to not go into any manga spoilers. Tell me in the comments if you like this timeline, where Hinata is taller, or if you don't like it at all and just want to stick with the original storyline. Also, tell me what other kind of videos you'd like to see as well. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll see you all in the next video.